What if one man held the key to the most bizarre and terrifying secrets of an entire country? Kim Jong Un isn't just a leader, he is at the center of a regime that thrives on mystery, fear, and mind-blowing control. Why are people forbidden from wearing jeans? Why does sarcasm put you in prison? And what really happens inside the hidden underground cities no outsider has ever seen? Get ready, because what you're about to discover will change everything you think you know about North Korea. 60. The Secretive Succession Plan. When Kim Jong Il passed away in 2011, many expected his oldest son, Kim Jong Nam, to take the throne. But it wasn't Kim Jong Nam nor his brother Kim Jong Chol who took over. Instead, Kim Jong Un, the youngest and least experienced son, was chosen to lead the regime. Why? Was it purely his father's decision, or were there other political dynamics at play? His rise to power has sparked endless speculation about what went on behind closed doors. 59. Switzerland schooling. Did you know that Kim Jong Un spent his teenage years studying in Switzerland under a fake identity? Unlike what we might expect, he lived a relatively normal life abroad, reportedly enjoying basketball and even Western fast food. How did this Western exposure shape his worldview? And how does someone go from a Swiss boarding school back to leading one of the most isolated countries on the planet? His past makes his present rule even more puzzling. 58. Mysterious disappearances. Kim Jong Un has vanished from public view on several occasions, stirring worldwide speculation. His longest disappearance lasted over 40 days, causing rumors about his health to swirl. Was it a health crisis? Political turmoil? Or perhaps it was a calculated move to keep the world on edge? His regime never explained, leaving us with more questions than answers. 57. Kim Jong Un's weight loss. In recent years, Kim has appeared noticeably slimmer. North Korean state media barely addresses it, but outside observers can't stop wondering, is it health-related, or is he trying to send a different message to his people in the world? It's strange how a leader's physical appearance can send ripples of speculation across the globe. 56. Only 15 approved haircuts. Imagine living in a place where you could only choose from 15 government-approved haircuts. That's the reality for North Korean citizens. No long hair for women, and certainly no funky Western styles for men. Kim Jong Un himself has a signature cut that's promoted as ideal. Why does hair matter so much in North Korea? It's part of a broader system of control over even the smallest aspects of life. 55. Bizarre fashion laws. And it's not just hair. North Koreans face strict regulations on what they can wear. Blue jeans, banned, bright colors, forbidden. Why is personal style such a threat to the regime? The fashion police literally patrol the streets, ready to enforce the dress code. It's hard to believe, but non-compliance could lead to public shaming or worse. 54. Poop as fertilizer. You won't find this in many other countries. In North Korea, human excrement is used as a primary fertilizer. There's a nationwide shortage of chemical fertilizers, and Kim Jong Un himself has encouraged citizens to collect night soil for farming. How did it come to this? Desperation has driven some farmers to even steal human waste from others. It's a strange, dark reality for many citizens. 53. Kim Jong Un's mythical origins. Propaganda in North Korea doesn't just stop at praising Kim Jong Un's leadership. It elevates him to nearly mythical status. Stories claim that he was born in a sacred location on Mount Paktu, just like his father and grandfather. These tales are meant to enforce the idea that the Kim family isn't just leading North Korea, they're almost divine. But how do such myths influence the loyalty and control he holds over his people? 52. His secret half-siblings. Kim Jong Un's half-siblings live in near total obscurity. Some are in exile, while others have completely disappeared from the public eye. Why is so little known about these family members? Are they seen as threats to Kim's rule? The mystery surrounding them only adds to the strange aura of North Korea's leadership. 51. The Kim family's body doubles. Rumors abound that Kim Jong-un, like his father before him, uses body doubles. This makes sense in a regime where assassination attempts are a real concern. But the question is, how many of the appearances we see on state television are the real Kim, and how many are just a decoy? It's one of the many ways the regime maintains control over both its people and its image. 50. The Pleasure Squad. It sounds like something out of a dystopian novel, but North Korea allegedly still has a pleasure squad of young women trained to entertain the elite. This practice reportedly dates back to Kim Jong Un's grandfather, Kim Il-sung, and has been revived under his rule. The mere existence of such a group paints a disturbing picture of life behind the walls of the regime's inner circle. 49. Execution by anti-aircraft gun. There have been multiple reports of executions under Kim Jong Un, but perhaps the most shocking method is the use of anti-aircraft guns. Imagine someone being executed by a weapon designed to take down planes. The brutality of such methods is hard to comprehend, yet it's part of the fear that keeps the regime in power. 48. The world's most expensive cognac. Kim Jong Un lives a life of excess, indulging in luxury items like rare bottles of cognac while his country faces chronic food shortages. It's reported that he spends millions annually on imported goods, from luxury cars to high-end liquor. How does a leader justify such extravagance in a country where many struggle to find enough to eat? 47. The Pyramid of Doom, the Ryugyong Hotel, a 105-story skyscraper in Pyongyang, has been under construction since 1987. Nicknamed the Pyramid of Doom, it stands as a symbol of North Korea's failed economic policies. Why has this building remained unfinished for decades? Its ghostly presence looms over the city, a reminder of promises unfulfilled. 46. The Disappearing Uncle. In 2013, Kim Jong Un's uncle, Jong Song-thaek, was suddenly removed from power and executed. He was one of the most powerful figures in North Korea, making his abrupt fall from grace all the more shocking. Why did Kim feel threatened by his uncle? And what does this say about the lengths hell go to consolidate power? 45. Banned birthdays. Believe it or not, you can't celebrate your birthday on certain days in North Korea. If you were born on April 15th or February 16th, the birthdays of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong Il, you have to pick another day. This might seem like a minor inconvenience, but in a country where the Kim family is essentially worshipped, it shows just how pervasive their control is. Isabel, 44. His obsession with Hollywood movies. Kim Jong Un is reportedly a huge fan of Western films, especially action movies like Rambo and Rocky. It's ironic considering how much his regime rails against Western culture. How does a man who loves American movies maintain a strict anti-Western stance? It's one of the many contradictions of life in North Korea. 43. State-controlled marriages. In North Korea, love isn't always a choice. Marriages, particularly among the elite, are often arranged by the government. The goal? To strengthen political alliances and ensure loyalty to the regime. Imagine being told who to marry by the state. This is the reality for many North Koreans. 42. Kim Jong Un's private island. Kim reportedly owns a private luxury island, often referred to as the North Korean Ibiza. It's a place where he entertains guests away from prying eyes. What happens on this island? Few people know, but it's another symbol of his extreme wealth and secrecy. In 41. Limited internet access. Most North Koreans have never experienced the internet as we know it. Instead, they have Kwangmyong, a state-controlled intranet that offers just 28 websites. These sites are mostly propaganda or basic information, and even then, access is tightly controlled. Only the elite can access the global internet, further dividing the population. 40. The mystery of his children. Rumors swirl about Kim Jong Un's children, but little is known for sure. It's believed he has 3 kids, but their names, ages, and even their existence remain state secrets. Why all the secrecy? It's likely a way to protect them from potential threats, but it also adds to the enigma surrounding North Korea's future leadership. 39. Worship like a god. Kim Jong Un isn't just a leader in North Korea. He's worshipped almost like a deity. Statues, portraits, and even songs are dedicated to him. People are required to show reverence to his image, and any sign of disrespect is harshly punished. It's a chilling reminder of the power he holds over the hearts and minds of his people. 38. His childhood obesity. Kim Jong Un reportedly struggled with childhood obesity, and it's a concern that is carried over into his adult life. While much of the North Korean population suffers from food shortages and malnutrition, Kim's fluctuating weight has become a symbol of the regime's deep contradictions. Recent reports suggest he's shed a significant amount of weight, sparking rumors about his health. But whether this is due to personal choice or health issues remains a mystery, as North Korean state media remains silent on the matter. 37. Executing family members. One of the most chilling aspects of Kim Jong Un's rule is his willingness to eliminate even his closest family members. The most infamous case was the assassination of his half-brother, Kim Jong Nam, in a Malaysian airport in 2017. Kim Jong Nam had lived in exile for years, but his sudden and brutal death, involving a nerve agent, sent a clear message to anyone who might challenge Kim's rule. How far is too far in consolidating power? For Kim, there seems to be no limit. 36. Forced labor camps. North Korea's network of forced labor camps is notorious for its brutality. Political prisoners, and sometimes their entire families, are sent to these camps for the slightest perceived dissent. The conditions are horrific, with torture, starvation, and forced labor being common practices. These camps are one of North Korea's darkest secrets, and despite international condemnation, they remain operational. The regime denies their existence, but testimonies from defectors tell a different horrifying story. 35. Kim Jong Un's lavish lifestyle. Despite leading a country where millions struggle with poverty, Kim Jong Un is known for his extravagant tastes. His lavish lifestyle includes luxury yachts, designer clothes, and gourmet food. He reportedly spends millions on imported goods each year, indulging in the finest wines and liquors, while his people are left to survive on basic rations. This stark contrast between the leader and the people is a powerful symbol of the regime's priorities. 34. The North Korean calendar. In North Korea, they don't use the Gregorian calendar like the rest of the world. Instead, they follow the Juche calendar, which starts in 1912, the year Kim Il-sung, the country's founding leader, was born. This calendar system is just one of the many ways the Kim family cements its legacy into everyday life in North Korea. For citizens, even time itself is shaped by the regime's ideology. 33. The elusive North Korean First Lady, Kim Jong Un's wife, Ri Sol-ju, is one of the most mysterious figures in North Korea. She rarely appears in public, and little is known about her background, other than that she was reportedly a singer before marrying Kim. Speculation about her role and influence within the regime is rampant, but the truth remains elusive. Her limited appearances only fuel rumors about the secrecy surrounding Kim Jong Un's personal life. 32. Bizarre military honors. In one of the strangest stories to come out of North Korea, a traffic officer in Pyongyang was awarded one of the country's highest military honors. Why? The reasons were vague, but rumors suggest she may have accidentally thwarted an assassination attempt while directing traffic. The incident highlights just how bizarre and unpredictable life can be in North Korea, where even the smallest actions can lead to recognition or punishment. 31. Secret nuclear facilities. North Korea's nuclear program is one of the most secretive and closely guarded operations in the world. Despite facing international sanctions, the regime continues to develop and expand its nuclear capabilities. Facilities are hidden in remote locations, and even when the regime claims to halt operations, satellite images have shown otherwise. The world can only guess how far North Korea's nuclear ambitions will go. Agent 30. His propaganda film studio. Kim Jong Un has invested heavily in North Korea's state-run film industry, using it as a tool for propaganda. The films produced in North Korea glorify the Kim family and the regime, while vilifying the West. Kim himself reportedly has a deep interest in filmmaking and oversees many aspects of production. It's not just about entertainment. These films serve as a powerful tool for controlling the narrative within North Korea. 29. The Grand Monuments. North Korea is filled with grand, imposing monuments dedicated to the Kim family. These statues and buildings are a constant reminder to citizens of the regime's dominance. The Mansu Hill Grand Monument, for example, features massive bronze statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong Il, and it's a place where citizens are required to pay their respects. The sheer scale of these monuments is designed to leave an impression both on the people of North Korea and visitors. 28. The Olympic obsession. North Korea takes its Olympic participation seriously, perhaps more so than any other country. Athletes are expected to bring home gold medals, and anything less is seen as a failure. In some cases, athletes who don't perform well are punished upon returning home. The pressure is immense, and it's a stark reminder of how even sports are used as a tool for the regime's image. 27. The DMZ showdown, the demilitarized zone, DMZ, between North and South Korea, is one of the most tense borders in the world. Despite its name, it's anything but peaceful. Kim Jong Un has used the DMZ as a stage for military standoffs, most notably in 2017, when tensions with the US and South Korea were at an all-time high. The DMZ remains a symbol of the ongoing conflict between the North and South, with Kim Jong Un at the center of the drama. 26. Pyongyang's Ghost City. While Pyongyang is the showcase city of North Korea, much of it is a facade. Many of the buildings are either uninhabited or only partially occupied, giving the city a ghostly feel. The regime uses Pyongyang to project an image of modernity and prosperity, but the reality is much bleaker. Behind the shiny exteriors lies a city that's more for show than for actual living. 25. The elite class system. North Korea operates under a strict class system known as Songbun, which categorizes citizens based on their loyalty to the regime. Those with higher Songbun have access to better jobs, food, and housing, while those deemed less loyal are relegated to the margins of society. This system ensures that power stays concentrated within the elite, making social mobility nearly impossible for most North Koreans. 24. Kim Jong Un's giant horse statue. In one of the more surreal displays of power, Kim Jong Un commissioned a giant statue of himself riding a white horse. This statue is meant to symbolize his strength and leadership, drawing on historical imagery of powerful rulers on horseback. The use of such grandiose symbols is another way Kim reinforces his image as an almost mythical figure within North Korea. 23. The secret train. When Kim Jong Un travels, he does so in a specially designed armored train. This train is heavily fortified, complete with luxury accommodations for the leader. Kim rarely travels by air, preferring the safety of his train. It's a symbol of his need for security in a regime where paranoia is the norm. 22. The Arirang Festival. North Korea's Arirang Festival is one of the largest mass games in the world, featuring tens of thousands of participants in synchronized performances. The event is a display of North Korean propaganda, glorifying the Kim family and the regime's accomplishments. It's a spectacle of control, where every movement is carefully orchestrated to demonstrate the power and unity of the nation. 21. The Forbidden Border Villages. Along the border with South Korea, North Korea has built fake villages meant to project an image of prosperity to the south. These villages are completely empty, with no one living in them, but from a distance they appear to be bustling communities. It's a strange and eerie reminder of the lengths the regime will go to control its image. 20. His lavish palace. Kim Jong Un's palace is something out of a fantasy. Imagine a sprawling compound with all the luxuries one could imagine. Private airstrips, swimming pools, banquet halls, and even a water park. It's estimated that the cost to maintain this luxurious lifestyle runs into the millions, while the average North Korean citizen struggles to meet basic needs. This palace isn't just home, it's a symbol of the huge divide between the regime's leadership and its people. When the leader lives like this, what does it say about the system itself? 19. Underground bunkers. Beneath North Korea lies a hidden world of underground bunkers and tunnels, built to protect Kim Jong Un and other high-ranking officials in the event of war. These bunkers are said to be impenetrable, designed to withstand nuclear attacks. Some speculate that there are entire underground cities equipped with everything from food supplies to command centers. What are these hidden bunkers preparing for? And how much of North Korea's true infrastructure lies beneath the surface? 18. The Kim Dynasty Mausoleum. When members of the Kim family die, they don't just get a simple burial. Instead, they are enshrined in the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, a massive mausoleum that houses the bodies of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong Il. This mausoleum is more than a final resting place, it's a shrine that all North Koreans are required to show reverence to. Kim Jong Un himself will one day join his ancestors here, But until then, this elaborate structure serves as a constant reminder of the family's immortality in North Korean propaganda. 17. The Pyongyang Metro Mystery. The Pyongyang Metro is one of the most secretive subway systems in the world. It's said to be the deepest metro system globally, not just for transportation, but also as a potential bomb shelter. While tourists are allowed to ride a few stations, many suspect that the real purpose of the metro remains hidden. There are rumors of secret lines that only the elite can use, transporting them to unknown locations around the city. What's really happening beneath the streets of Pyongyang? The answers remain elusive. 16. Compulsory morning rituals. Every day in North Korea, citizens must take part in mandatory rituals, including singing songs of praise for the regime, bowing to the portraits of the Kim family, and participating in collective exercises. These rituals are designed to reinforce loyalty and ensure that the first thoughts of every citizen each day are of the leader. It's a psychological tool that keeps the population in line, but it raises the question, how much of that loyalty is genuine and how much is forced? 15. The Songbun class system. North Korea's Songbun system categorizes citizens into different classes based on their loyalty to the regime. Your Songbun determines everything: where you live, what job you can have, and even what you can eat. Those with higher Songbun live in relative comfort, while those deemed less loyal are pushed to the margins of society. This rigid class system creates a society where social mobility is virtually non-existent. Your fate is sealed the moment you're born, depending on your family's perceived loyalty. 14. His love for cheese. Kim Jong Un's love for cheese is well documented. He reportedly became obsessed with Swiss cheese during his time studying in Europe, and now imports large quantities of it for personal consumption. But it's more than just a taste preference. Kim's cheese addiction has been linked to his health problems, including his weight gain over the years. It's yet another bizarre detail in the life of one of the world's most secretive leaders. 13. The propaganda balloons. North Korea isn't just about keeping information in, it's also about sending propaganda out. One strange method the regime uses is releasing balloons filled with propaganda leaflets across the border into South Korea. These balloons carry messages glorifying Kim Jong Un and denouncing the South Korean government. It's an old-school tactic in a world dominated by digital warfare, but it continues to play a part in North Korea's strange mix of secrecy and aggressive messaging. 12. Pyongyang's elite schools. While most North Korean children receive basic, state-controlled education, the elite class has access to special schools in Pyongyang, where the curriculum is designed to prepare them for leadership roles. These schools teach not just standard subjects, but also ideological training and foreign languages. Only the children of the most loyal families are allowed to attend, further reinforcing the rigid class system that dominates the country. What kind of future is being built for these students? And how different is it from the future faced by the average North Korean child? 11. Fake grocery stores. In Pyongyang, you might walk past a grocery store and think the city is thriving. But many of these stores are staged, filled with products that can't actually be purchased. They exist purely for the benefit of visiting foreign dignitaries and tourists, creating an illusion of abundance. It's a facade designed to show the world a version of North Korea that simply doesn't exist. What does it say about a country when even its grocery stores are part of the propaganda machine? 10. The family-run economy. Kim Jong Un's family doesn't just run the government, they run much of the economy too. The Kims have control over a network of businesses that deal in everything from luxury goods to arms sales. These enterprises provide the family with vast personal wealth, while ordinary citizens are left to rely on state rations. It's a system that consolidates power and wealth at the top, with little trickling down to the average person. 9. His nuclear threats. Kim Jong Un's threats of nuclear attacks have caused alarm around the world. Despite international sanctions, North Korea continues to develop its nuclear capabilities, and Kim has made it clear that he views these weapons as essential to the regime's survival. How serious are these threats, and how close is North Korea to having the capability to launch a nuclear strike? The world remains on edge, never quite sure what Kim's next move will be. 8. The execution of his ex-girlfriend. In one of the most shocking stories to come out of North Korea, it was reported that Kim Jong Un had his ex-girlfriend, Hyeon Songwol, executed. She was a popular singer, and her public execution was allegedly due to her involvement in a pornographic video. While the truth behind this incident remains murky, it's a stark example of the brutal lengths Kim is willing to go to maintain control, even when it involves people from his personal life. 7. The ban on sarcasm. In North Korea, sarcasm is banned. Yes, you read that right. In an effort to crack down on dissent, the regime has outlawed sarcastic comments, particularly those aimed at the government. It's a bizarre step, but in a country where even the smallest hint of rebellion is a threat, sarcasm is seen as dangerous. Imagine living in a place where even humor is a crime. 6. The famous all-female army band. Kim Jong Un is known for his love of entertainment, and one of his favorite acts is the Moranbong Band, an all-female army band handpicked by Kim himself. The band plays everything from traditional Korean music to Western pop songs, and their performances are a key part of North Korea's propaganda efforts. The sight of these women in military uniforms, performing with precision and energy, is meant to symbolize the strength and unity of the regime. 5. His strange friendship with Dennis Rodman. One of the strangest aspects of Kim Jong Un's public life is his friendship with former NBA star Dennis Rodman. The two struck up an unlikely bond during Rodman's visits to North Korea, where he's been treated like an honored guest. What could a North Korean dictator and a former basketball player possibly have in common? It's a relationship that baffled the world, but it's clear that Kim Jong Un's love for basketball runs deep, or the mass games. The Arirang mass games are a spectacle like no other. Tens of thousands of performers participate in this synchronized event, which celebrates North Korean achievements and glorifies the Kim family. The sheer scale and precision of the performances are awe-inspiring, but they also serve as a stark reminder of the regime's control over its people. Participation is mandatory for many, and the months of training required demonstrate the totalitarian grip that Kim has on every aspect of North Korean life. 3. The obsession with basketball. Kim Jong Un's love for basketball is well known, and it's even said that he tried to model some aspects of North Korean society on the NBA. In fact, he's such a fan that he once invited Dennis Rodman to North Korea for a basketball exhibition. The idea of a dictator being obsessed with basketball is strange enough, but it also shows that even in the most isolated corners of the world, global pop culture finds a way to seep through. 2. The myth of his divinity. In North Korea, Kim Jong Un isn't just a leader, he's treated as a godlike figure. Propaganda paints him as a man of supernatural ability, who can perform feats that defy logic. These myths serve to strengthen his grip on power, ensuring that the people view him as not just a political leader, but as someone with divine right. How much of this do North Koreans truly believe? And how much is just a product of fear? 2. The myth of his divinity. In North Korea, Kim Jong Un is not merely a leader, he is portrayed as a nearly divine figure. Propaganda efforts go beyond the normal reverence often given to political leaders. State media claims that Kim has supernatural abilities, painting him as a figure of almost godlike power. These myths serve to cement his control, ensuring that the North Korean people view him as not just their ruler, but as someone who is almost untouchable by human standards. From stories of his miraculous feats to supposed legendary wisdom, the regime crafts an image that transcends the ordinary. But how much of this do the people believe? Is it faith, fear, or simply survival that keeps the myth alive? It's hard to say for sure in a country where dissent is not an option. 1. His legacy of fear. Kim Jong Un has maintained his grip on power through a carefully constructed system of fear. Executions, labor camps, and the constant threat of punishment have kept North Korea's citizens in line. It's not just fear of external enemies, it's fear of their own government. Public executions serve as grim reminders of the consequences of disobedience, while entire families are often sent to labor camps if one member is found guilty of a political crime. This legacy of fear doesn't just keep Kim in power, it defines the everyday lives of North Koreans. Imagine living in a place where every action, word, or even thought could be used against you. In North Korea, loyalty isn't just expected, it's demanded. Kim Jong Un's. North Korea is a land of extremes where the bizarre mixes with the terrifying. From executing family members to being worshipped like a deity, His regime shocks the world with its brutality and secrecy. Yet as much as we know, even more remains hidden behind the tightly sealed borders of this isolated nation. What else might the world never know? If this video left you wanting more, let us know in the comments and be sure to share it with friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. There's always more to uncover.